All right, shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negro, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians, and the foreign Israelites that look like the other nations scattered across the four corners of the earth. I want to give all praises to Barak, 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 Yahawashi. Got to give all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Bahasham, Qadash. Name of the Heavenly Father, who everybody ignorantly calls God. In the ancient Hebrew, which is the Rawchaa Qadash, his true name is Yahawah. Bahasham means in the name of Yahawashi, is the Holy One of Israel, from the tribe of Judah, a so-called Negro, who everybody ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, who was slain at the foundations of the earth for the salvation of the elect and for the rest of Israel after the destruction. And the Rawchaa Qadash is the Holy Spirit that has been given among the men that the Heavenly Father gave his only begotten Son out of the world to complete his work. So we want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, led us to this truth and been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, and show forth the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all those who are part of the elect, to the hopeful elect. Lord, wouldn't we part of that number? Lord, wouldn't us be able to find those who fear the name of the Lord and striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. His judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 5. It is not slack. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9 is unto a ring. 2 Ezra chapter 5, verse 42. The water for all you sincere believers tuning in here and on after. Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa Qadash. And we're going to get into a lesson. And the title is Into the Illumination. And basically it's dealing with the matrix. And when we say the matrix, in the scriptures, when you look up that word, it means the wound. So we're basically the Most High's movie. We're in a simulated, it's simulated. It's already been written to what is going to happen. Okay, and the things that we see in history, the Lord has already required these things and established these things. When you go into the scriptures, it talks about them. So we're going to go into some of that. And we're going to go into a couple other things because we know dealing with, always Lord wouldn't edify to the flock. We've been dealing with this guy, Jacob Rawchaa. He just went back to the spirit world. And you got these certain other camps talking about, he's in hell burning forever, but there's not a place you burn in hell forever. That's going off, man. That's not a place you burn for in hell forever. He's just up there, his spirit's back with the Most High, and when you go to the Most High, you receive judgment for what you did right or wrong, but you play out your judgment here. You come back down here. That's why I said in Ecclesiastes, under the sun, I saw the place of judgment. This is where you get judged at. But I really want to go into some things concerning some other things to kind of show that this is the Most High's movie. And, you know, when you're dealing with the Illumination, when you deal with the illumination of the Illuminati, right? The light bearers, you know, we've been going into that a lot. There's a left-hand side of the Lord that's illuminated, and then there's a right-hand side of the Lord that's illuminated. And, you know, that a lot of our people, Jake, they've used Jake to confuse our people, and they've used Jake to give our people a false narrative of what the truth really is. And after they get done, you know, after they do whatever, you know, how much longer they get done using them, they get rid of them. And they usually do it at a specific time, you know. And, you know, me and my elder were talking about yesterday, you know, we know that Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, you know, these Rothschilds, they are the, you know, the top members of the Illuminati, the top banking families. This is who the Bible speaks of. You know, and you know, that's why they're all their numbers. They're trying to be like the Most High, right? Well, that means that they're going to try to mimic the Most High. And you know, we know that Yahawashi, he was crucified when he was 33. And what's the elect? The elect is 33% of Israel. One out of every Israelite, out of every three Israelites, only one of them is going to make it here in America, Babylon the Great. That's what that is talking about. You know, mainly when it comes to the 1/3, 2/3 chart concerning Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8. Okay. And that's why we're trying to warn the elect only, because it's already been written and coded that 2/3 of our people are going to get cut off here and die. So there's no reason to talk to everybody about it. We just want to reach the elect. And those are the people that we're focused on when we do these lessons. So I want to get into some things to show that these elites, a lot of significant things in time, they try to make them happen in specific times, you know, to show that they're controlling the history. Okay. So when we go into, first, we're going to go into this word illumination. So let me pull that up, go to the blue letter. Going to go into that. I'm going to try to make this fairly short. You know, I don't have a whole lot of precepts, but, you know. Yeah, okay. We're going to go into this. This is how we know we're in the end of days, and we've reached a final conclusion on these wicked kingdoms that have ruled. Okay, because the last one is talking about America, Babylon the Great. We're going to go into that. Like I said, we're going to deal with this word illumination first, and we're going to go into also, you know, showing that John F. Kennedy. Okay, he was assassinated in 1963, right? Okay, when you go into him, he had a speech. Okay, and that speech is what really got him, you know, basically got him put to death. Okay, because he was exposing the Illuminati. He was exposing them and showing how powerful they really were. But we're going to go into that in just a second. We're going to get with this first. This is Hebrews chapter 10, verse 32. And this is why a lot of other camps and some other people like the Yah Israelites, they only believe in the Old Testament. They don't want to deal with Hebrews. You got some that believe in the Old Testament and New Testament, but they don't want to deal with the book of Hebrews. You know, but the book of Hebrews is very significant, you know. So, and this is why we go into a lot of the history, because this is what we are to do, you know. So we can start at 10, Hebrews chapter 10, verse 31. It is a fearful thing to fall in the hands of the living power. It's a fearful thing to be in not a good standing with Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. You know, verse 32, but call to remembrance the former days, in which after ye were illuminated, ye endured a great fight of afflictions, You see, and me and my elder was going into that the other day. You know, he pulled it up the other day when, you know, he was kind of, you know, helping me with a lesson that I did, kind of basing, going back into Star Wars, because Luke means Lucifer, you know, but there's a righteous Lucifer and then there's a wicked one. Lucifer just means light bearer, the illuminated, like a certain understanding. There's a wicked side and a righteous side. You see, and the righteous side on the right hand of the Lord is Yahawashi. You know, he's illuminated too. That's why I said, after you were illuminated, ye endured a great flight of afflictions, partly whilst you were made a gazing stock, both by reproaches and afflictions. You know, they look at us like this brotherhood ain't something very important that we you know follow. They think that, you know, we're wasting our time doing this work, right? And partly whilst we became companions of them that were so used. See, so, you know, we became companions with the brotherhood, and they're used to being, you know, looked down upon, as if, you know, we're not the men of the Lord, right? Verse 34: for ye had compassion of me in my bonds, and took joyfully the spoiling of your goods, knowing in yourselves that ye have in heaven a better and enduring substance. So what we have is more. It's an illumination that is, you know, basically going to eventually make us immortal. Lord willing, we are that number. You know, that's what this is. This is to learn how to receive immortality and learn how to receive total dominion, you know, under Yahawashi, you know, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. So we're going to look up this word, right, which you were illuminated.
Strong's G 5461. Fotidzo.
Right.
Fotidzo.
And this is like in the Greek, and it says to give light, to shine, to enlighten, light up, illumine, to bring to light, render evident. See, so the men of the Lord in this brotherhood and the wicked side, the wicked brotherhood is both balanced and created to show you that Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi exists. There's a wicked brotherhood and a righteous brotherhood. I did a video on it, you know, a while back, you know, maybe like a month ago, going into that, you know. So it says to render evident, to cause something to exist, right? And thus come to light and become clear to all, you know, because everybody knows who the Illuminati is. They know they're in Hollywood. They know that they do things, you know, like sacrifice people and whatnot for fame and fortune. You know, we know they do this stuff. Everybody's clear about that. It's not like some just random, some just secretive thing like nobody knows about. People know this. Okay. Just to enlighten spiritually, right? Imbue with saving knowledge. See, so that's what we've been illuminated with. We've been illuminated with something that can save you. Okay. And the wicked hand side of the Lord has been illuminated with wickedness. Okay. So they know how to be wicked to a perfect extent. You know, they know how to be completely wicked. So that's the opposite. And we're going to show you some of the things that they do. So it says to instruct, to inform, teach, to give understanding, to enlighten, illuminate. And that's what they talk about. They enlighten people to what? Know that, you know, they are, you know, the wicked. They enlighten you on this. This is how we've deceived the world. So you got Jake, you know, he wants to get the bag, and that's a lot of ways how they catch Jake. That's how they mainly catch Jake, because Jake is searching for that bag, and they use that bag to choke Jake, like spiritually choke Jake, and make him feel like this is all that matters. These riches, like you got to just grind for this thing to the core, you know, so you can really be successful. But it's going to be in the end, it's not going to work out. It's going to end up coming to naught. So we're going to go over here, and I want to look up this word too, right? So we looked up that word, illuminated, right? And I wonder what just for a second, just to look at it, see what the root word says. Okay, that's pretty good too. Right? And it says emitted by
Strong's
a
G
lamp.
5457.
Okay, and like you're the lamp, a star,
Phos.
fire because it is light and sheds light. You know, there's a couple little things to break it down. I don't want to go too much into it, but it's you know, and it says down here, natural or artificial, abstract or concrete, literal or figurative, fire, light, right? So there's an artificial light, and that artificial light is the illuminated left-hand side of the Lord. They got the sword, which the sword and the fatness of the earth was given to Esau, even the so-called white man, and he uses that light that he was given, that wickedness of that flesh, to make you think that he's more powerful than the Most High, that he is, you know, the true light, but he's an artificial light. That's why they're making what, an artificial birthright. They're trying to issue in the charagma, the mark of the beast. You put in your right hand on your forehead, you know. And then natural. The natural is what? Yahawah, Yahawashi of the spirit, because it said in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 12 verse 1, it said that his incorruptible spirit is in all things. So that spirit is more powerful than the flesh, but the flesh, you know, it's got Jake, 2/3 of Jake deceived to think that that's real light, and it's not. It's a fake light. So we're gonna go into this other word, okay? Right, a great 5 afflictions, but we're gonna go down here to 34, like it said, for ye had in compassion of me and my bonds, and took joyfully the spoiling of your goods, knowing in yourselves that ye have in heaven a better and enduring substance. So there's a substance that's you know, of the left hand side of the Lord, that's able to be evident, and in the right hand side of the Lord, there's a substance to be you know, evident, and that is the brotherhood. Okay, so that's why this brotherhood is way more important than what Jake perceives. So we're just gonna look up this word.
223. Huparxis. Huparxis.
Okay, that's in the Greek, and it says possessions, good, wealth, property. Okay, existency and proper it's like proprietorship, something like that, i.e. properly, wealth, good, substance. Okay, and when you see in the wicked Pharisees would go to Yahawashi, they ask the Lord asked them who's on the penny. Okay, and Yahawashi, he asked them, he said, who was on the penny? They said Caesar. He said, render unto me what's Caesar's, and render unto me, render unto what's the Most High's, the Most High's. So he was separating the wicked Israelites from the good Israelites, you know. In that time, that's what he was saying. Property, we belong to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, and everybody else belongs to what? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. And they, you know, you could say you're not, but hey, who you get your checks from? Whose faces is on everything you use to live? And if and we use the same stuff too, but we show you that, you know, his kingdom is coming down, and we're not going to bow down to his image. You see, and that substance that we have.
Strong's G 5225. Huparcho.
That substance that we have shows that there is a righteous side of the Lord. That's he said, I'm not going to send nobody but the prophet Jonas. It said, a wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign. And this is the only sign you're going to get to know that Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi exists. This brotherhood. You see, that's how important this is. So I wanted to go into the root word of that.
Strong's G 5225. Huparcho.
Right?
Huparcho.
It says to begin below, to make a beginning, to begin, to come forth, hence to be there, be ready, be at hand, to be participle, adverb, preposition. See, so we were prepositioned to have this substance, right? It says behave, live, right? So we don't do everything that everybody else do, because our existence, it says come into existence. Our substance is not like the world's. That's why I said you can't take a candle and put it under a bush. You can't put it under a table. It's got to shine. And how we shine is doing these videos and showing you that there is a righteous seed line of Yahawah, Yahawashi. Our substance is of righteousness, but we just fell from that righteousness. And you know, that's where people get mixed up. Sometimes it doesn't literally. Sometimes you gotta understand some stuff is in parable form, like because it talked about we were locked in these everlasting chains of darkness, right? I'll pull it up real quick. But it's not saying like literal chains, you know. And there was a time we was in slavery, we really was in chains, but it's not talking about this in this. You know, it's just talking about we were in these bodies. We're angels in these bodies. Malak means messenger, or messenger, king, or angel. That's what it is. We're messengers. Okay. The Lord, we're the angels that fell from our estate, but we're human. You see, but our spirit is of the Lord. Okay, that showing that is what shows that there's that substance is there. Okay, and we're being reserved, you know, until the judgment of the great day. And that's what we're going to read right here, Jude chapter 1 verse 6. And the angels which kept not their first estate, right? So that means there's some angels down here. What's the angel's first estate? They was immortal. They was in the heavens, right? They built the world with Yahawashi, the order of Melchizedek. When you really go into it, that's that order. That order is the tabernacle of King David being rebuilt, and it's a priesthood more excellent than the priesthood of Aaron and Moses. And it was supposed to be like that, because if we still had that priesthood and we still had to follow that priesthood, none of us could be priests. None of us. We would be through. That we already messed that up. That's why Yahawashi came and died for the elect, so they could be cleansed of that screw up. Basically, you know, he came to finish fulfilling the substance that, you know, we weren't able to obtain without him. He's our mediator. So it says the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, right? Because we started serving other gods. We started mating with other nations and was going off and worshiping their gods, right? And the Lord's like, yeah, you want to do whatever you want? I'll have you do that. But at the same time, this is the Lord's movie. So he set that up to where we would go off, you know, so he could correct us. And that's what it said. It said a man who spareth his rod from his son, hated his son. So the Lord had to punish, or he would hate us. He ain't punished Esau, Edom yet. He laid his heritage desolate for one time, but you know, other than that, Esau, Edom hasn't really got a punishment for the wickedness that he's done, you know. But for us, we got punished, you know, and we got put at the bottom of the earth. So it says he have preserved in everlasting chains under darkness until the judgment of the great day. You see, and he punished us, like I was saying, in Amos chapter 3, verse 2, it reads, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. So he's only talking to Israel. Only Israel the Lord has known. That's why we went through the Atlantic slave trade. That's why we went through that kind of stuff. And then the Native Americans were in the Trail of Tears and things like that, because they're also us too. You know, they're one of the tribes. You know, the Gadites, the Benjamites, you know, that's what Paul was. He was a Benjamite. He was a Native American, so-called Native American. You see? So you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities, which is sin upon sin. We got to punish the most severely, you know, and that's why, you know, these other nations have to go through the same thing we went through. You know, that's judgment. That's justice. It's the same thing. It said judgment and justice is the habitation of his throne. So now we're going to go into a couple of things before we get into going into this thing dealing with the Illuminati and how they have fabricated this fake world for you to think like this is real life. Okay, it's all been fabricated. Now, like we said, this dude Lord Jacob Rawchaa, right, who died. Well, in 1963, he co-founded. I talked about this yesterday. I want to tie it into something. He co-founded J. Rothschild Assurance Group, now St. James Place, with Mark Weinberg in 1980. Right. Well, now there's another video that I want to mention. and it's a video. Another brother, he's a big brother, GMS in the Truth for Orlando. He went and got a video from an elder Manata Zakba, from a long time ago, and it talks about this race, okay, that we had, like, basically to obtain general wealth. And I want to point out something. To show that all this stuff, really, a lot of this stuff ties in together. On when Jake came out here trying to make it, and just like today, Jake still tried to get the bag. He tried to make it to the top. Some of them make it, but they end up, tearing down a lot of other Jakes to get there. And basically giving up their essence, their substance. And that's what 2/3 is doing. They giving up their substance for the flesh, thinking that the flesh is more important. And that's how Esau Edom did. What? He gave his birthright. And they following after Esau, doing the same thing. They're trying to give up their illumination, to be part of their system. And you're always going to be at the bottom, Jake. No matter how hard you work there, they're going to always try to screw you over in the end. You're going to end up with, a life where you're like, damn, like this shit really didn't pan out like I thought it would. I got the bag, I got the car, I got all that. And it's like at the end, you're like, damn, what was it really for? It's all vanity, man. That's why I said labor not to be rich. We got to work from the sweat of our brow, but we're not supposed to do it like that, man. So, where we just, trying to die for this shit. We just work enough to just get our daily bread, be content, because we know why. Our substance is more work, is more, it's more valuable in the heavens. So I might even play a little bit of this. But I want to make a point.
You see?
Give me a sec. Yeah, we'll play it today because it's only like 4 minutes. But my computers look like it's going real slow. But Big Bro kind of went into this. Okay. But I'm gonna let him play a little bit. He had another one there called Economic Hitman. That was real good too. But we're just gonna deal with this one for now and tie it into some things. So
Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ.
Check this out.
Not Serapis Christus, not Yeshaya, it's Yahawashi.
This video is like 3 years ago.
So gotta give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah. Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, who teach well. The sincere sake takes into all the argument, pushing the truth and believing the truth throughout the four winds of the earth, the entire world, waking up the hopeful elect. And shalom to the Agwa who are listening and learning. A few sisters who are listening and learning. I'm Isaiah from the GMS Orlando camp, coming at you another lesson in truth, facts, faith, and edification. Another daily edification, the Lord's willing. It's be edifying. And this is the elder Manata Zakba from South Carolina brought this video out, and it's called Structural Discrimination, the Unequal Opportunity Race. Really, another name for it, also generational wealth. Lord's willing to be edifying.
That illumination, that illumination you have.
So you see, they got Esau, Judah, Ephraim on the line, right? So you see, they still got Ephraim and Judah still there. This is showing you the gap of that generational wealth that Esau have, but the northern and southern kingdom doesn't have. You Negro, Latino, Native American, West Indian, Haitians does not have generational wealth here in Babylon and Great and the countries around the world. You don't have it. Why? Because this is not your kingdom. This is not your rulership.
Yeah, slavery, genocide, manifest destiny, relatives, all that shit, segregation. So while Esau was getting the bag, that's what we doing. Just getting fucked up. That's the curses, man. See, look, he just passing down his money to his son. He running still, right? Then 3-4 centuries then passed, right? Wealth disparities, right? Now you see how I say 1964, right? What did that dude, Jacob Rothschild do? He set up that what was it called? He set up that banking system, right? So from all that time, let me find it. It said he founded the J. Rothschild Assurance Group, right? Right. So in 1964, that was when they was like, all right, Jake, you can come out here and you can try to make the bag, right? So that all that time, listen.
So you see, they showing you from 1492.
That's what I wanted to hear. From 1492, right, to 1964, we didn't even get to start in this race. This is how unfair it was for us, Jake. But you still out here trying to think that you can make it in America, Babylon the Great. And they set up a lot of traps for us, man, to where you're not going to make it out here, Jake. You're going to fail in the end of the day. Even if you make a whole lot of money and you are successful in America, Babylon the Great, it's going to come to where you lost the most valuable thing chasing that bag, your substance, because riches choke the word. And that's what we're going to go into in a second.
To 1964. This one, you Negroes, Latino, Native American, West Indian, Haitians, you got a small break to start in what they call in the white man's world. You see? And this is for educational purposes only.
Discrimination.
So you Israelites caught pure hell here, man.
Right. Poor schooling.
A lot of stumbling blocks were placed before you.
Yep. Underemployment, hard for Jake to keep a job out here and shit. Standardized tests because they know Jake we're not like them. Our substance isn't like theirs, so we're gonna fail a lot of their tests. You see? Look at that. Just to end up in a damn box. See? School to prison pipeline. And this is a serious one, man, because my brother dealt with this. Like me and my family, we dealt with this, My brother, I didn't get to see my brother for 10 years over something small, man. This is what Esau Edom did to us, man. And then by the time Jake come back out here, they chasing the bag like no other, man. Just to realize that it was a trap for Jake, man. See? Right? This is what it means to be Israelite, man. Housing segregation, right? You put us in the hood, right? Drug testing. They the one putting the weed out here. They racial, you see? Racial profiling. All the shit we dealt with, man.
It's still racial profiling to this day, man.
To this day, man.
There will always be a separation here until Shiloh come.
And Shiloh's talking about Yahawashi. While we over here at a dead end, you saw Edom at what? You got connections, man. And that's why you got these, privilege, and you got these college kids who got nice ass whips and they ain't even really done shit, right? They've been, see? And see, look at this. Look at that.
You see that? They got the woman running alongside, leading a little bit behind, man. You see? And that for that supposedly so-called equal women's liberation, man. You see that?
And that's giving you a real depiction of what life is. They got y'all thinking, they got you women out here thinking that y'all got some type of liberty now because y'all got your little platforms and you got your womanism and all this shit and you're able to, you know, get jobs and whatnot. But some women, you see them, they go try to get a job and they get paid less than the man. There'd be a lot of jobs like that. You see? And it really dealing with them big jobs. When you try to go one of them Esau eating businesses, like one of them big corporations, you're not gonna get paid like the man, because that's how it's set up. They try to make it seem like you liberated, but really it was to destroy families, destroy Jake families. Because the woman really supposed to be at the house, you know, taking care of the kids, you know, doing stuff like that. But they got you thinking you working 70 hours a week with Esau Edom was a better idea, and now the family's destroyed. You know, the children just sitting at the house or got babysitters and you're not really taking care of your children, man. So that women's liberation thing was a trap too. And that's what we're trying to show you. This place is a trap, man. You know? And that's why we tell you, Jake, don't be chasing the bag because it's going to end up at the dead end. You know, but my main thing was talking about they didn't let us start coming out here and really try to like become someone until around 1964. So it ain't even been not even 100 years of us having this chance to be what the so-called citizens of America, Babylon the Great. And you got Jake out here thinking we got an opportunity or something, be somebody. It's not. They just set up a whole bunch of traps for us, for the majority of us to be stuck. And then some of us is going to sell out and make the bag, but you're a slave still. You're still a slave. You just got a little bit more money. That's all. You're still a slave. They still look at you as a nigga, Jake, in the end of the day. So I want to tie this into something because you know how they started that in 1963. Well, that was the same year that John F. Kennedy was assassinated, right? November 22nd, 1963. And I did a little video on this. And this situation dealt with a lot of, because you know in the Illuminati you can't be you have to like and we know this stuff is real because to be in the Illuminati the highest level degree is a 33rd degree Mason, right? That's showing that they're trying to try to act like they're the elect. That's basically what they're doing because Yahawashi did what? He died for the elect. He was 33. The elect is 33% of Israel. That's what it's talking about. It's a system, two systems opposing each other to show you that the Lord exists. You know, and he died on all. The whole thing deals with these numbers, okay? And you know, something I want to point out that I learned last night, kind of just the spirit hit me when I was just talking to my elder. We just go into a lot of stuff. We just have conversations, and then stuff starts dawning on us. Like, oh damn, and start thinking of stuff. Okay, just coming up with random things, right? Well, this same year, this is when Jacob Rothschild made that banking system, right? So right after that, he died, right, in 1963. Guess what happened 3 years later? Malcolm X got put to death, 1965, and he was 39 years old, okay? And he was like this big figure for Jake to be somebody, right? Be a Muslim, right? That's why you got a lot of Jakes out here. They Muslims and it's not bringing them it's not bringing them nothing. It's not bringing them no and some other things actually happened too. It was a couple other people who were civil rights leaders and stuff that died on some iconic dates that were Jakes too. This I'm gonna point them out too. But this dude, Malcolm X, you know, he was 39 and he died. And then guess what? Guess who else died 3 years later? Martin Luther King. And he was 39. See? That's all threes. You see what I'm saying? And I had another video. It talked about how all the people that we've been at war with is on the 33-degree latitude. And all of them throughout the whole planet are all with the death penalty. Okay? And all those people we've made war with, America, Babylon the Great has, you know, because you know we're not really we're in America, Babylon the Great. We're considered so-called Americans, but we were forced over here. you know, so we're really not Americans. See what I'm saying? We're just born here in captivity. So this is to show you that a lot of this stuff is staged, man. Okay? They got all this stuff numbered out. Now, this other guy, they don't talk about this guy. Medgar Evers. Okay? This guy. Okay? He, on June 12th, 1963, in Jackson, Mississippi, and this was, you know, pretty interesting to me because my family comes out of Mississippi, okay? And Jackson is the capital of Mississippi. We came out of Greenville, like 8 miles from the Mississippi Bridge. It's a little small rural town, real poor. Like you could tell that slavery affected that place. It was, you know, it showed that neighborhood segregation. Yeah, go take your ass to Greenville, go drive over there. Go drive through there and you gonna know what we're talking about. You know, there's bars on all the windows. You can't even wear a hoodie going into the store. There's bars on everything because Jake robbing shit because Jake's so damn poor he can't even go in the store and get a damn drink. Okay? That's how bad it is over there. All right. So he was a 37-year-old civil rights activist named Medgar Evers had just come home after a meeting in the NAACP and began a short walk up his single-story rambler, and he got shot. Right? Same year, 1963. All the people who were doing all that, all those different things, they all got killed 3 years apart by getting shot. All of them. You know, that's gotta show you something, man. There was another dude who he died on the 4th of July. Clyde Kennard. Okay. He died July 4th, 1963. Okay. He was an American Korean War veteran and a civil rights leader in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. See, Jake was like trying to, they's like, all right, you got a chance to come out here and try to be somebody, Jake, right? 1964, right? And they had all these traps set up. And all of our so-called civil rights leaders trying to give us some kind of leeway, all of them got put to death. You know? A lot of them through 1963, 1965, and 1963. Yeah. It's 1963. And then 1965 and then 1968, around 3 years apart, man. You know, and it's not going to be accurate to where it's like it's just right on the dot, but it's just showing you that around this time, all these people were trying to step up and be somebody for Jake, but it wasn't the right way, man, because it said this is not our rest, and Jake keep trying to establish his own righteousness here. He keep trying to be a part of this fucking place, and the Lord said, Micah 2:10, come out of this place. Okay, that's the point I'm trying to make. You know, you're not going to make it here. You know, if you try to rise up and do anything good, you know, and you really making a difference, you're going to get put to death. So that's the point that I'm trying to make. Around that time when he made that banking system, you know, he was taking people out. And John F. Kennedy talked about this, okay? And this is the speech that he gave. You know, that basically that this is why like, we got to take him out. He's talking too much. So we're going to watch this about 5 minutes, and then we're going to get into some more precepts. You know, we're going to go into this beast system and this prophecy of to show you where we're at on the timeline, to show you that we're at the last leg of Rome. Okay. That's how we know it's the end. Not saying we know the end, like exactly when it's going to happen, but we know that he said there's going to be certain kingdoms that come up, and then the last one's going to be, you know, America, Babylon the Great, and then they're going to get destroyed, and then Israel's going to rule. And we're going to point that out in the book of Daniel, and we're going to go bring it up also in the Revelation to show you it ties in the Old Testament and in the New Testament. Okay? So check this out.
Ladies and gentlemen, the very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society, and we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweighed the dangers which are cited to justify it. Even today, there is little value in opposing the threat of a closed society by imitating its arbitrary restrictions. Even today, there is little value in ensuring the survival of our nation if our traditions do not survive with it. And there is very grave danger that an announced need for increased security will be seized upon by those anxious to expand its meaning to the very limits of official censorship and concealment. That I do not intend to permit to the extent that it's in my control. And no official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, civilian or military, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. It is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly efficient machine that combines military, diplomatic, intelligence, economic, scientific, and political operations. Its preparations are concealed, not published. Its mistakes are buried, not headlined. Its dissenters are silenced, not praised. No expenditure is questioned, no rumor is printed, no secret is revealed. No president should fear public scrutiny of his program, for from that scrutiny comes understanding, and from that understanding comes support or opposition, and both are necessary. I am not asking your newspapers to support an administration, but I am asking your help in the tremendous task of informing and alerting the American people. For I have complete confidence.
That's enough for you to see that what? He was talking about the Illuminati, okay? And that was the same year that what? The Rothschilds, or the Red Shield, or Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, Amalek, the first descendants of Esau, you know, were setting this up, okay? And, you know, they allowed him to go do that speech, and then he went out the building and got shot, okay? This is all planned, okay? So that's what we're trying to show you. Like, this is the Lord's movie, and he's trying to show Jake all these things to show him that, hey man, judgment is coming on this place, man. Okay, the Illuminati is real, man. You know, the illuminated ones, and there's a righteous side, and you know, there's a wicked side, and you're seeing them battle right now in the spirit by doing what? We're breaking down strongholds. You're not in a, you know, if you're someone who's actually paying attention and you're learning and you believe this, that means that what? Then more than likely, if you stay to the end, you might be of the elect, because it says those only endure to the end shall be saved. So you have to endure much affliction and scrutiny and all types of chastisement and all types of people looking at you weird, everybody rejecting you, okay, until the very end, you know, to be considered as the elect. And you also have to be of the seed line of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but it's by the Spirit, you know, because there's no way you can call on the Rawchaa Qadash without the Lord, you know, putting your spirit to do that. Let me see. I'm gonna pull that up real quick before we go into Daniel, the book of Daniel, about this statue. Okay, this dream, this vision that the Lord gave him about these kingdoms coming into place and falling. Okay, so it was something like this. I pulled it up yesterday. It's not that one, it's a different one. think it's 1 Corinthians. Yeah, it's 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 3. Yep, that's the one. And it reads, wherefore I give you to understand that no man speaking by the Spirit of the Most High calleth Yahawashi accursed, and that no man can say that Yahawashi is Lord, right? But only by the Holy Spirit, which is the Qadash. Now it says ghost in there, but they changed that. When you look up that word ghost in the Strongs, it says spirit. It's talking about the spirit. Okay, the Qadash. So we couldn't have been doing this and showing you these things and decently in order without the spirit. So that's why we believe we're Jake, because everybody else doesn't believe this, you know. And then you got people who are calling on so-called Jesus Christ. But when you look at images of so-called Jesus Christ, right? Let's look at them real quick. Let's look at them real quick. That's what he looks like, right? This is his image. Okay, that a lot of Jake is worshiping, right? But he goes back to this Illuminati form, you know, type stuff, right? And this is really a picture of Caesar Borgia, okay? Caesar Borgia, okay? That's who this really is. You know, the sixth pope of Rome had a contest on painting this picture, you know, of so-called Jesus Christ. And you see how he got his two fingers up like that? You see what I'm saying? He got two fingers up, right? So when you come over here and you look up this guy, right? Because this is what the Illuminati, these people in Hollywood, this is one of the devils, one of the demons they worship, okay? I'm going to show you. Just bear with me. This is one of these demons they be worshiping. Okay. I'm going to show you. It looks just like the image of Jesus Christ. The same thing. Let me find a good one. It was one I pulled up a long time ago that was real good. That won't work because it's not really nothing behind it. So lock it. Okay, let me zoom it in real quick. And look what he has up in it. Look what he has. Right? He's got two fingers up. Just like that picture of Jesus Christ does. It's the same thing. That's really what you're worshiping when you worship Jesus Christ. You're worshiping that. Okay? That's why we tell you don't call on that name. Okay? That's what you're worshiping. That's what it is. You know? And 66% of people here, Jake and America Babylon the Great, are giving their substance over to this thing. Okay? That's why we like, nah, fuck all that. So then we're going to go into Daniel, okay? And he goes into the statue, right? And I want to show a picture of it, okay? Here's the picture of it. It's in the book of Daniel chapter 2 and Daniel chapter 7, where we're finna go into these five beasts right here, right? Or four beasts right here. So like if these four beasts, we're going to explain those and break those down and show you this is the same thing that was in Daniel 2. These are these kingdoms that were set up. And the lion with the eagle's wings is talking about Babylon, right? Old Babylon. You know, it was like the city of gold. That's why it's got a gold head. And then the silver is the Medo-Persian Empire. Who's the Medes? That's talking about Russia. Who's Persia? That's talking about Iran. They're both in the BRICS right now. And what are they doing? They're going after America. And America now is known as what? America Babylon the Great. This is the revived Roman Empire. Okay. Basically. And that's going to be down here. Okay. but it's spiritually called Babylon because Babel means confusion. Okay, there's confusion here, and it's also known as Assyria. It's also known as spiritually Sodom and Egypt, found in Revelation chapter 11, verse 8. You know, this place promotes sodomy. Okay, you got the fruit roll up, committee. You know, the LGBTOOMOP motherfuckers, right? Then it says Grecia, which was what? What's that talking about? Greece, right? Alexander the Greek, right? Or like they try to say Alexander the Great, right? But that's talking about, and it makes sense because the Medo-Persian Empire, they had silver weapons. Greece had they had bronze weapons. That's why it's bronze right here in the middle. Okay. And that's how they were able to have more weapons available, because bronze is easier, it's cheaper than silver. Okay. Same way with gold. Okay. And then we go down here to Rome, right? And that's these beasts that it's talking about in Daniel chapter 7. Okay. But when we're going to go into that, and then we're going to go into what's going to happen to them. Okay. So we're going to get over here. Daniel chapter 7. It's been a while since I went over this, so I wanted to go in over again, because this is how we know we're at the end of days. Okay. And the end of days started when Yahawashi came on the scene, but certain things had to play out first. America, Babylon the Great had to be established, and it has been, and it's on its fall right now. And it's the revived Roman Empire, because physically the revived Roman Empire. Because why? You got the Colosseums, which is like the football stadiums. You go to school, learn Roman numerals. You look at the Monday through Sunday, all those names, Monday, Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, those are all named after Roman gods. Okay, this is revive Rome. Okay, so, and I know I'm going into a lot of things, but it's a lot. So we're going to go into this. It says, in the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head upon his bed. And he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters, right? Because the Lord gave him the vision. Every time they needed a prophecy, Jake was breaking it down. Just like today, we got an elders and apostles of Great Millstone breaking down the prophecies, right? Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of heaven strove upon the great sea, and four beasts came up from the sea, diverse from one another. The first was like a lion that had eagle wings, right? That was that first one we see. The lion and the eagle wings, right? That's talking about Babylon, right? I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked. How was it plucked? Medo-Persian Empire, right? And it was lifted up from the earth and made to stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. And heart means lob. In the Lashon Qadash, it means lob. It's talking about your mind, not your heart. Your heart just pump blood. So as we keep going, 5, and beheld another beast, second like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side and had 3 ribs in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it. And they said thus unto it, arise, devour much flesh. They took down Babylon. Okay. Right. And you see over here, that picture, what was it? It was a bear with 3 ribs in his mouth. Okay. Like, this is what the Bible is talking about. Okay. Then it says, verse 6, after this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl, and the beast also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. That's talking about Alexander the Greek. Okay. That's going into that. That's talking about Alexander the Greek, or what y'all say Alexander the Great, the people of the world who study it. Okay. That's talking about them, the Greeks. Okay. And Jake was in all these captivities, man. All these people had us in captivity. Okay, that's why it said in Revelations chapter 13, verse 10, he who leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. They got to go. They're going into slavery. Okay, this is what the Bible is saying, right? So verse 7, and after this I saw the night visions, and behold, the 4th beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. What is that? Rome, the iron monarchy. You see what I'm saying? Right? It devoured and breaking pieces and stamped the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns, right? 10 horns. Those are talking about kingdoms, different kingdoms, okay, that were with this thing, right? I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, right? And in Daniel chapter 7, there's a little horn, and in Daniel chapter 8, it's another little horn that talks about, but that's talking about Antiochus Epiphanes. And Lord willing, you know, we'll be able to go in that, you know, sometime soon, Lord willing. I really want to do a sit down with my elder on it, because he understands a lot of that history, you know, and there's still things that I'm learning about Antiochus Epiphanes, you know, and you know, the Maccabees and other different history. You want to know your history as an Israelite. You want to understand these things, because that's how we're proving that this exists. Okay. So there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were the 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And behold, this horn were eyes like the eyes of man, in the mouth, and the mouth speaking great things. It was great things. So it was like basically those 3 horns out of those 10 horns, basically 3 different tribes. They were basically rooted out. They were all killed off. This is what it's basically saying. Okay. But we're not going to get too deep into who those were, but they were part of basically Europe. Okay. And Europe was divided. You remember how they tried to unite Europe? You know, a lot of the popes and whatnot, they tried to unite Europe and they couldn't. And still to this day, they still divided. Okay. That's why I talked about at the bottom of this, in Daniel chapter 2, I talked about at the bottom of this statue, it was potter's clay and iron mixed with it, because it was divided, showing that what the kingdom's going to fall, because it said a divided house cannot stand. And that's why us men out here, especially dealing with women, we don't want to deal with a woman that doesn't take heed to what we're saying, because that's a divided house. You can't take orders from us and take what we tell you to do. That means that our house is going to fall. So we only want, you know, us men of the Lord, we only want women who are in order. That's why, you know, you see a lot of us alone, you know, because we're not willing to give up our substance for no woman, or no substance for this beast system. You know, we're not going to do it. So the first 10 horns plucked up by the roots, and behold, the horn, and we always say, Lord willing, you know, because the Lord could throw you out of this truth. So Lord willing, he keep us in that spirit, right? And behold, in this horn, plucked us by the root, and behold, in this horn, there were eyes like the eyes of man, and a mouth speaking great things. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the ancients of days did sit. Who was that talking about? Yahawah, the heavenly Father. He's also, that's another one of his names, the Ancient of Days. You know, that's one of his titles, because he was before time, right? Whose garment was white as snow, and his hair of his head like the pure wool, right? We ain't talking about gray hair. We talking about straight pure white, like real white. That's what we say. Esau, Edom, not white. He's red. Okay, that's what Edom means. Edom means red. Okay, and they sold their birthright for a morsel of meat. Okay, that's why you got stuff like, you know, at them restaurants, they got that steak tartare, or medium rare, and all that stuff. That's Esau Edom stuff. They eat stuff with blood in it. Jake don't do that. It even talks about it in the laws. We're to cook everything. We don't eat nothing with blood in it. That's why you see Jake don't get his shit medium rare. Jake get his shit straight dead. Like the cow is gone. Okay. You see what I'm saying? We're not, you know, and that's why more than likely you see somebody and they might look like Jake. If they eat bloody steaks all the time, more than likely they fucking Esau Edom. Okay. Because it's the man who makes the seed. Okay. Sperm. The man is whoever your dad is who you are. So you could look like a so-called white person and your dad looks like one of us, and he acts like Jake. You know how Jake act like. He don't act like Esau Edom. Then you're Jake. Okay? The speckled birds, the foreign Israelites, the ones that look like the other nations. That's what we call them. Right? And the hair of his head like pure wool, His throne was like a fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. A fiery stream issued forth from before him. Thousands and thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set, and the books were open. So all the nations and everybody was in front of Yahawah, Yahawashi in the heavens. And he said, "This is what's going to happen. This now the book's open." And what's the book? The Matrix. This place, real life. Okay, that's what this is. Okay, so I want to get to the point. I'm going to read down just a little bit. These great beasts, verse 17, which are four kings, which shall rise out of the earth. See, it's talking about kingdoms. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. See, so we know that it's gonna fall. Okay, and that's what we're showing you. At the end, Israel is going to win. And how we know this? When you go into Daniel chapter 2, verse 35. Trying to make this a little quicker. Chapter 2, verse 35, and it reads, okay, and when you go into this, like we said, the statue that we read, right? We're just going to get to the point. Verse 35, it says, "Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold," that statue, right, "broken into pieces together and became like chaff of the summer threshing floors, and the wind carried them away." What's that talking about? The missiles, right? That no place was found for them. "And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain and filled the whole earth." That stone that hit it is basically Yahawashi destroying these kingdoms, and then Israel reigning, okay, as it said in Daniel chapter 7. And then when you go over here in Revelation, right, chapter 13, verse 1, we're just going to read 3 scriptures on this one. It reads, "And I stood," right, "upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns." This is talking about America, Babylon the Great. Okay, and once again, we'll go into it because, and this 7 heads and 10 horns is basically United Nations, and NATO and the EU. Okay, that's what it's talking about. This beast, this kingdom. Okay, so bear with me because I remember some of them, but I don't remember all of them. And I don't want to, miss something. None of them will be sitting here thinking, and I've wanted to, get better at remembering all of them. So Lord willing, I'll be able to, have that down by the next time I do this lesson again. Because, this is a good lesson to go over, especially when we're dealing with Esau, Edom, to show you that, just what's going on, right now. So when we go into the 7 heads, this is a 7 governments, a 7-headed beast system. Okay, that basically is, this, what's ruling right now. You got the Germania Minor, the Romans, French, the Spanish, Germania Major, British, the Greeks, and then, basically America, Babylon the Great is the little horn leading over them. Okay, and then, in 1958, okay, they established the EU. Okay, the European Union, and that's Belgium, Denmark, France, Italy, Luxembourg, right? Netherlands, Greece, Spain, Portugal, England, Ireland, and West Germany, right? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? Then you go over here because right now it's like 29. It's like 29 different people in this system, but that's because people were added onto it. But we're just dealing with the original 7 heads and 10 horns. Okay. So then you got NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and that was in 1949, August 4th, when they established that. And a year before that, Amalek, the first descendants of Esau, came and basically made Israel a nation, okay? And then they established NATO a year later, okay? And it's Greece, Italy, Spain, and I named Spain in the last in the European Union, you know, as well. They're kind of part of both. France, West Germany, United Kingdom, Portugal. I named Portugal too. Belgium, the Netherlands. I named the Netherlands too. We named Luxembourg. They got them already. Canada's a part of it. Norway, Denmark, Iceland, Turkey. But Turkey is like Turkey in the scriptures is Gomer, and now they're like going to the BRICS. Okay, then you got the U.S., you know, Poland, Hungary, and the Czech Republic. Okay, those are like the original 7 heads and 10 horns. Okay, so that's what that system is. Okay, that it's talking about. Okay, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard. Right? What's that talking about? That's talking about Esau eating the so-called white man, America, Babylon the Great, and his feet were as the feet of a bear. Who's that talking about? Russia, because Russia's mascot is what? A bear. And what did it say when Babylon was ruling? It was a lion with eagle's wings. What's over here? Mascot is an eagle. Okay, and it said that Esau Edom was like a roaring lion seeking who he may devour. Okay, see what I'm saying? And then it said the feet were a bear, which means what? That means that kingdom is going to take over the leopard. That's what it's talking about. The bear, which is Russia. And that's where we're in this war with Russia right now. That's why America's in this war with Russia. See what I'm saying? This is literally the Lord's movie, right? And his mouth as the mouth of a lion, and the dragon gave him power, which is talking about the Roman Empire, and his seat and great authority, right? And I saw one of the heads as it were wounded to death, right? Talking about the old Roman Empire. It ruled for about 1,000 years, and then it fell. And then you had the 5 emperors after that, the 5 good emperors, and they were all Jakes, okay? And we went over this, you know, in one of my lessons recently. They were all Jakes, and that period was called the Byzantine Empire, or what Esau Edom calls it is the Dark Ages, because they wasn't ruling. And you know how I talked about in Revelation chapter 20, it talked about how Satan was loosed in the pit for 1,000 years, right? He was in the pit for 1,000 years, and then it said he shall be loosed out. So that Dark Ages, that period, he was in the bottomless pit, which is just talking about the caves, Mount Seir, you know, and partially also the Caucasus Mountain, but they really from Mount Seir. But that's where you get that word Caucasian from, the Caucasus Mountains. Okay, you see what I'm saying? This Caucasian, white, all this stuff come from that, man. Right? Right? So deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. Okay? This system. And they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast, and they worshiped the beast. They got all the presidents go to the Vatican and go bow to the Pope every year, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him? This system. You know, but now what you got? You got the BRICS coming at this place. Okay. So that's basically all I wanted to put on that. Now, this is why we tell Jake that, you know, we know you want to be a little bit somewhat comfortable here, but this isn't our rest, Jake. And you know, this is why you got a lot of people when they got a lot of money, they not really in this truth, because you know it's harder for a rich man to get into the kingdom of heaven than a camel to fit through an eye of a needle. So it's still possible, but it's not likely, is what we're saying. You know, he's gonna have to make some major changes, because a lot of rich people, they're proud, their heart is lifted up, their mind is lifted up because of the riches they have, and they can't take heed to no orders, especially from a Jake that ain't got no bread. You know what I'm saying? So this is Mark chapter 4, verse 19. This is what I was wanting to go into. Like 3 more precepts, and then we're done. No, this is a long lesson. So we're going to go into this Mark chapter 4, verse 19, right? And it reads, "And the cares of this world and the deceitfulness of riches and the lust of other things entering in choke the word and becometh unfruitful." You see? So that's why the Lord said, what? The meek shall inherit the earth. Why? Because they're not letting the deceitful of riches and lusts of other things enter into our substance. You see? So that's why us Jakes, we cool just being at the bottom and just getting a little bit, because that means what? We're not going to be comfortable here. That gives us a more chance of being the elect. You see? Because you get comfortable in America, Babylon the Great, you're in trouble. Because this place ain't nobody going to be comfortable here in Jacob's trouble, man. It's not going to be comfortable for nobody. It's going to be the hardest time, you know. I'm going to look at this word.
Strong's G 4846. Supnigo.
Right?
Supnigo.
And that's in the Greek. It says to choke utterly, metaphorically, the seed of the divine word sown in the mind. See? So that divine substance can't be sown into your mind when you're lusting after this money and you're, you know, you got all this bread. It drowns the spirit and you can't get it. You can't get it, Jake. So that's why we're like, you know, when Jake be like, yeah, man, I'm making all this money. Don't you want to make some of this money, Jake? Right? Be holding the hundreds on TV. Don't you want to make all this money? We're like, nah, because we want the real currency, which is this knowledge, right? It says to press round or throng one so almost to suffocate him, right? And that's why we don't deal with the flesh like that, because we know our substance is the spirit. So if we try to deal with the flesh, you know, too much, you know, and try to get the riches of this world, we're gonna fall out of the truth. That's why the Lord keeps us what? Going through afflictions. After you get illuminated with this truth, you got to go through afflictions to what? Keep yourself lowly, a contrite spirit, humble spirit, you know. And you're gonna be like that if you ain't got a lot of bread. So, and we're gonna show that it's all predestinated. Ephesians. Okay, so there's no free will. You know, even y'all who are sitting here watching, it wasn't a free will for you to come here and start believing in this. The Lord wanted you to come believe in this. Okay, to one of us brothers who's out here teaching it. You know, and either you're gonna stay around or he's gonna make you fall out. You know, that's not up to us. Our job is just to do the work. So this is Ephesians chapter 1, verse 1. It says the blessings of redemption. It says Paul, an apostle of Yahawashi Hamashiach, and how you say, you know, it says Christ, but it really means Hamashiach, and that means the anointed. That's how you really say that, right? So Yahawashi Hamashiach, by the will of the Most High, to the saints which are at Ephesus, right? And to the faithful in Hamashiach Yahawashi, grace be unto you and peace from the Most High our Father and from the Lord Yahawashi Hamashiach. Shalom, big bro. Shalom, bro. Bahasham, Bahasham, Qadash, Barak. For tuning in. So, right. So it says, blessed be the Most High and the Father of our Lord Yahawashi Hamashiach, who have blessed us with all spiritual blessings in heavenly places in Hamashiach, according to as he have chosen us in him before the foundation of the world. See, just like we've seen in Daniel, he said the judgment was set, book was open. There's ain't no free will, right? But the churches tell you there is free will. That's how you know that these churches don't know what they're talking about. And it also says in the book of Acts that we dwell in a temple not made with hands. That's why we don't go to the church. The church is on the highways and byways and these sit downs, but mainly it's on the highways and byways. Luke 14:23. You see? So before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and without blame before him in love, having predestinated us, right, unto the adoption of children by Yahawashi Hamashiach unto himself, according to the good pleasure of his will. And those people who are getting that, you know, that adoption, you know, we might even go into that word adoption too, because I've seen one of the elders go into it, and it's good. It's good to go into that as well. So we're going to go in that word predestinated, and we're going to go in that word adoption. Okay. And the ones who are being adopted are the Israelites that were cast out of the land of Israel, because what makes you a Gentile is if you were an Israelite and you were born outside, okay, of Israel, which is basically all of us. Okay. So we're those Gentiles coming back. Okay. It means like, because there's a word called Hellenized, which means like Greek customs. We were acting like the other nations, if I would say. You see? But now the Lord has called us back because we were predestinated to come back to this truth in the end. Okay? In the end of time. So that's the biggest sign that you have, is seeing these men doing this work on a regular basis to show you that this is how you know it's the end. Because there was a time the elders and apostles, around 30 years ago, there was nobody really talking about this. There wasn't nobody really in the truth. It wasn't brothers waking up all over the planet. But then 20 years later, boom, all these brothers wake up, and then they had a split in 2000 because, but we're not going to go into that. It's kind of deep waters, but we do have precepts on it, but we're not going to go into that. And then more brothers came in like myself, the little bros like me, So we're going to look at this word predestinated.
Strong's G.
Right? It says to predetermine, decide beforehand. And we've seen the Ancient of Days do that. He did that. In the New Testament of the Most High decreeing from eternity to foreordained, appoint beforehand, determine before ordained, predestinate, to limit in advance. There's no free will, Jake. So if the Lord doesn't want you to be in this truth, you're going to fall out. And that's why we prayed Psalms 51:11 to the Lord, not to take the Qadash from us, because that's the only way that we can have the understanding of this adoption coming from Yahawah, Yahawashi, coming from the heavens. So we're going to look at this word adoption. We're his children. We're his offspring, the offspring of King David. That's what this is. Okay? Coming back to our customs and considering the days of old. And you can't know that unless you're in the spirit.
Strong's G 5206. We are Thesia.
Right? It says adoption as sons. See, it starts with the sons, and the women come behind us. We're your mediators. So if you're not going to do what we say, what does that mean? We don't want to deal with you, because Yahawashi said a divided house can't stand. You got to be with us all the way and do what we say do, especially during Jacob's trouble. You just one time you say some weird shit, Lord, take your ass out, man. That's why he's letting us train and right now, all of us, the men, women, and children, train how to be one house. And it starts with the man. The head is the man. But a lot of women, since they got their so-called liberation, they want to run shit. And that's why a lot of y'all ain't going to make it. So it says that relationship which the Most High was pleased to establish between himself and the Israelites in preference to all other nations. See, it's only for the Israelites. The nature and condition of the true disciples in Hamashiach, who by receiving the spirit of the Most High into their souls became the sons of the Most High. So to become a son of the Most High, you have to have the Rawchaa Qadash. You have to have that with you. And when you have that, what are you going to be doing? You're going to be on the highways and byways teaching. You're going to be doing lessons. You're going to be praying. You're going to be fasting. You're going to be doing all these different types of things to the best of your abilities, because some things are harder for other Jakes. But we're doing everything to the best of our abilities to make sure that we keep all these customs and we follow the Sabbaths, which are the new moons. When you look in Isaiah chapter 66, verse 23, it talks about the new moons is something that has been established as the Shabbat or the Sabbaths forever. It's not going to change, And we got coming up the Passover, right? In March, because that was around the time Yahawashi was crucified. So that's a very serious time for Jake. It's a solemn assembly. So we don't just let anybody come and be partakers of that. And we want to make sure that our spirits are right too, because if we take that lamb, unholy and not be worthy of it, or be as a son of the Most High, then the Lord's really going to deal with you, okay? Because that's something serious, So that's why we're trying to get our minds right now, And especially like if you're somebody new in the truth, we don't just be like, don't feel like you got to be just so super right. The Lord woke you up, man. Or you aqua out there that believe, whoever's listening, whoever comes across this, like you listen long enough. This is a long lesson, but anyways, He bring you here for a reason, and Lord willing, you stay here. You know, we're looking for the elect. We're looking for the ones who believe in this. We're not going to make you. If you don't believe in it, then you don't. It's got nothing to do with us. So it says the blessed state looked for in the future life after the visible return of Hamashiach from heaven. See, adoption. Sonship. See, it's talking about us. And this isn't our first time here. That's why he said he's putting us in remembrance. And we're going to show it in two different scriptures, and then we're done. Isaiah 43:26. We're being put in remembrance of what we once knew, our first love, this truth. That's why we don't want riches, Jake. We want these riches. This is what we want. And we'll spend all our time, Lord willing, to obtain it. Isaiah 43:26, it says, put me in remembrance. Let us plead together. Declare thou that thou mayest be justified. Right? See? The prophets always ask the Lord, put us in remembrance of what we once knew. That means that we were here before. And we're going to show it in this scripture. We're going to show you another. We're going to look at this word remembrance real quick. Good to look up words, See? Because it gives you a better understanding.
Zacher.
Right?
Zacher.
Because to remember, right? Recall. Call to mind. See, we're being recalled of what Yahawah, Yahawashi is the last time we was on the planet. Okay? It says that he visits every in the book of Numbers, it talks about he visits, I think it's Numbers 14:18. He visits all the wicked and also the righteous every third and fourth generation. So around every 100 years, you come back here. Okay? Give or take around that time. Lord can bring you back quicker or make you wait a little longer. Who knows? But, that's what Apostle Tahar said. It's about 100 years, and that's the head apostle of GMS. And we go study these things. We don't just say, just tell you just believe it. Go do your research. But that's something that the Spirit had to reveal, because there ain't nowhere in there when you go look it up, it says around 100 years. That's, you believe it or not. Okay? That's up to you. But I believe Apostle Tahar, Elders Apostle Great Millstone. Yeah, over here, we believe in that. So we're going to go with that. Unless he says something otherwise, which is not likely, because the Lord is dealing with him, right? To be brought to remembrance, be remembered, be thought of, be brought to mind, cause to remember, remind, right? Cause to be remembered, keep in remembrance. Yeah, I know you're a little bit bro too, but you might have been teaching longer than me, so that's why I call you big bro. You like a big little bro, but who knows? I only been in the truth for a year, so who knows, man? I might be your big little bro, but whatever. Sometimes I just be saying that, just because you've been coming around, man. So either way, this is a family union. We related. You believe in royalty, true royalty. You believe in this truth. We related. So So okay, Khan. You little bro like me. So yeah, Khan. So this is Isaiah chapter 10 verse 22 from Live in the Spirit 144K. For though thy people Israel will be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant, talking about the elect of them, yet a remnant of them shall return, right? And how are we returning first? Being brought back to this understanding, being remembering what this is and who the elect are and what they act like, because it says to put on the image of the elect. Okay, that's why we're doing this, to hopefully be of the elect. That's what we call ourselves, the hopeful elect, right? Yet a remnant of them shall return. The consumption decree shall overflow with righteousness. The water, bro. So then we're going to go over here to John 14:26, and we're going to look this up, and then we're going to be out of here. Long lesson, because I played some videos that I didn't think I was going to play, but the Spirit was like, go ahead, play it through, you know. And for those who these lessons do belong and stuff. But if you're somebody who's really wanting to study the truth, maybe you do 30 minutes of the lesson, learn something, take a break, maybe learn the rest tomorrow. It's necessary patience learning this stuff. That's even what I did when I first came into truth. But I was in a situation where I was really struggling when I came into truth. The Lord had took things from me to test me. I was literally sleeping in somebody's closet. Okay. And I was studying like 10 hours a day. Like I was all doing that. And then I would go do camp, because I didn't have a job at the time. But, Lord still made a way for me to, survive. And it wasn't even a way where it was like, going against the law. I wasn't doing nothing maliciousness. So it was just, living on fucking food stamps. And people I was living with was like, you throw your food stamps with us, you can sleep in the closet. The Lord set that up for me, because he knew what he took from me. He knew I didn't have shit, But he took care of me while I was learning and getting myself together and making mistakes. And, but I was still going out there doing camp. I didn't even have a bike then. I was walking, and that's why, like for a Jake like me, I'm not really a person to, be looking for a rib like that, and most of the brothers, none of us are. Most of us are just focused on the truth. If we get a rib just because y'all came to us, and especially a Jake like me, I ain't even got no car. A lot of women don't want to be with no Jake. We ain't got no damn car, but some do, That just depends. It depends on, if you think I'm one of the elect or not. I don't know if I am, but we're taking, you take that chance, it's like with any of the brothers. It's just like we taking a chance on trying to put ourselves as the image of the elect. We're all taking a chance, to try to be that. So you gotta put yourself out there, but go with the spirit and learn a lot first. Be well instructed, first before you take that step and serve a man of the Lord. You women out there, because once you do that, you're gonna be with that guy. You better stay with him and treat him right. Count the cost when you get in this thing, because you could be with a man and y'all both, the Lord in that lot for that man to die for the truth. I mean, you might die with him, but y'all be, come back in the kingdom together, and he's gonna be crowned. So who knows? Just got to consider those things. So I'm talking a little bit. John 14:26. But the Comforter, which is the Holy Spirit, the Rawchaa Qadash, right? Whom the Father will send in my name. His name is Yahawah Yahawashi. Okay, that's his name. And he shall teach you all things. See, that's how we know that the elders and apostles have 100% truth of this remembrance that we're brought back to. Our leaders. It says all things what? That we need to know, because it said we prophesy in part and know in part. We can't tell you exactly when the end's going to be, but we're going to tell you how close it is. That's prophesying in part and knowing in part. That's the 100% truth. We're telling you what you need to know, right? And bring all things to your remembrance whatsoever I have said unto you. But how could he have brung it into remember what he said to us in person if we wasn't there? See what I'm saying? And that's why we have that hope. We hope that we were there listening to him when he said this, and when he said, I'm going to bring this back and you're going to remember. Okay? And I'm going to be with you, And that's what he said. He said he had to go away for the Spirit to come in us. He had to, be crucified, be risen again, and then bring us back over here, over here to America, Babylon the Great and whatnot. Bring us over here, and then, put the Spirit in us so we can be reminded that the end is near. Okay. So this is Live in the Spirit 144K, 1 Corinthians 10:13. There have no temptation taking you but such as is common to man. You see? But the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above what you are able. And this is talking about to the elect. Okay. But with the temptation also make what? A way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. So he puts us through these things and these afflictions so we have a way to escape them. So you can't be saved unless you're in captivity. And you got these Christians out here talking about, they're already in the new covenant. Hell no. Because if we're in the new covenant, that means that the Lord would have came down and we wouldn't have had to teach everyone this truth. They say you're not going to have to teach your neighbor no more, which is your fellow Israelite, whoever is around you, who's listening and believes. So, you know, that's my lesson. Try to make it shorter, but hey, you know, it's a spirit. You know, Jake B going in. So shalom to the elect Israel, to the hopeful elect Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians, and the foreign Israelites that look like the other nations scattered across the four corners of the earth. I want to give all praise to Barak, Yahawashi. Got to give all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. I want to get double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Led me to this truth, and all of us to this truth, who have been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, and show forth the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all those who are part of the elect and to the hopeful elect. Lord willing, we part of that number. Lord willing, us be able to find those who fear the name of the Lord and are striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. His judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah 3:5. It is not slack. 2 Peter 3:9. Unto a ring. 2 Esdras 5:42. The waterfall, you sincere believers tuning in. Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash, Atham. Lord willing, just yonder bar, which means you're welcome, bro. You know, the water for tuning in. You know, see you next time, Lord willing. You know, like I said, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash, Barak, Atham. To all you sincere believers out there, peace and blessing to the elect. Wa Abba Babal, Kwam Yasharala, Shalom.